colours red, black and white. The decision was partly my own, help from my imaginary entity and also feedback from other things such as my questionnaire. The masthead that I made for my prelim task was very basic, large, too colourful, and just didn't look like a masthead. The colours were incredibly bright, the fronts were all just unrealistic to a college background, the background was hard to tell what it was, and it was oversized. After looking at this, I realised that I would need to put more research into the masthead for my final work. Therefore, I looked at the popular rock music magazines such as Kerrang! And Rock Sound, and looked at how these music magazines were laid out and the codes and conventions within them. Upon creating my masthead, I imported it onto a Photoshop document. I could already see the difference in the potential my magazine had of looking professional. I could clearly see it would quite easily look as professional as Kerrang! Or Rock Sound. I have also learnt how much detail and thought is required to make good, professional-looking, effective front covers, contents pages, and double-page spread. Factors such as not having too many fonts, not overlaying things to confuse the reader, choosing effective colours, choosing the right image, and choosing the right size font and location of objects. If any of these are done incorrect, then it can result in the magazine looking unprofessional, as well as the actual layout of the font side of things. I have noticed that much work really goes into the photography side of the magazine as well, as this plays a massive part in the development of a magazine in order to make it look professional and attractive, therefore being successful. I had to pay very close attention to all of this when I took my photographs to my media magazine, as I wanted to denote my meanings within my imaginary entity. For example, the image that I used for my prelim task, main cover image, was just an on-the-spot decision and photograph on a digital camera of a student. I didn't put much thought into it, and just wanted to get it done, as I didn't think there was anything more to it. Shortly after my research, I noticed what really goes into the photography side of things. Therefore, when I took the photographs for my main cover image, I made sure I didn't make the same mistake. Factors such as camera angle, position of subjects, clothing, props, looks, shadows and highlights, lighting and backgrounds were all taken into consideration. Not only did I do this, I also took lots of photographs so that I would have a vast collection to choose from later on. Although I used a high quality DSLR camera opposed to a basic digital camera, which also allowed me to edit the photo more before I even got it onto a computer with things such as aperture, ISO, shutter speed, composition, exposure, zoom and focus. I additionally put thought into theory too, such as the rule of thirds. I tried to make the subjects star personas, Richard Dyer, and additionally ideal self or partners, Carl Rogers. The cell lines on my prelim task were very dull and boring. The colours were all messed up and the location of them was shocking. They were covering the main cover image and they were far too large, almost larger than the masthead. During the development of my pickup magazine, I made my cell lines smaller, more to the point, and located them down the left and right sides of my magazine, which I found to be the most common place from my research. I think that by doing this, it has provided me with effective, non-obscuring cell lines that still attract the attention of the audience. I tried not to use too many cell lines as it would make the magazine front cover look cluttered, driving people away from my magazine. I made sure that all of the fonts and text on my magazine front cover were all easy to read, yet still followed my house style. From my research, I noticed that the main fonts used were in block capital letters, stood out and were spaced quite close together. For example, a font such as Impact. Therefore, when I made all my fonts, I tried to stick to the general rule. However, obviously, I wanted my mastered font different, as then it would be unique, stand out on the shelf from other existing magazines, and attract readers towards it. So that's my appendix, that's my evaluation finished. That's in fact my AS Media Studies coursework finished. Thank you for watching everything. Thank you for reading my blog. Thank you for taking the time to mark my blog. Hopefully everything will have gone alright and I've got everything in there. I really have put a lot of effort into this. And all the way from the first day, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
I've learnt lots, and again, I'd just like to thank you for reading my blog and taking the time. Thanks a lot, take care, my name's Sam Birtles.